All right, guys, and welcome here to Town Hall Heroes, episode number 78. My name is Solid Jake, and I'm joined here by Dunktrain, Kubi, Zoya, and BKB to talk about some of the more glorious things ever. Oop, let's get their volumes on. Hey, guys.
Did you just overlay us?
I did.
Oh!
You made an intentional overlay joke. You're so clever, Jake.
I'm
Gosh.
so clever.
How did he do it?
How did anyone as smart as you ever mess up so bad and not show 12 minutes of a competitive game?
All right, guys. We'll get to that in a little bit if you don't understand exactly why that just happened. We'll get there. Now, today we're going to be talking about SEL. We've got all the news for basically a new community league by and for the community. We're going to be talking about the ESL Season 3 playoffs, Rexxar, an interview with BKB, Virtus Pro, on the state of the European scene, and himself, of course, and the team. And we're going to talk about America's Championship, as it is very much coming up, and we will not have a show next week, so this is our last show prior to that happening. But before we get there, BKB, this is your first time on the show, so welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
Can you say his name, please?
Yeah, my full name, please.
Full name. Full handle. Go.
Before
Go.
getting into
No!
effect.
No. Kubi, you do it.
It's BKB Krzysztof.
Easy.
get it?
Yep.
Easy mode. I remember.
Welcome, and why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the viewers that don't know who you are.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm BKB from Virtus Pro. Yeah, I started playing from Alpha, and that's it, right? Is it enough?
Yeah, no, that's good enough, man.
Yeah.
Dunktrain, the man with the webcam issues. Welcome back, my friend.
Hi.
Great voice.
You don't sound. Go ahead.
That's the voice K1 always gives us when he just wakes up and logs on to do scrims. He just gets in, he's like, hi. Like the most miserable thing in the world.
And he's just waking up at like 10 p.m. at night, right?
Yeah, you know, whenever.
I like
So
it.
I just wanted to get that feeling across about how upset I am about my webcam.
Good, good. Well, I'm rocking this shirt for a reason today. We'll get there very soon. Kubi, what's new with you?
Had to do some casting, a little fill in this weekend. Somebody got sick, is still sick. We'll get to that in a bit. That was for ESL.
So lifeless.
Sunday. I went to a wedding Friday. That was fun. Other than that, just been studying, sitting in on scrims and stuff, playing the new patch. It's been a good time.
Mr. Zoloff himself. How you feeling, buddy?
Like shit. I don't know, I'm like in a permanent state of like sick. Like I've got like the chills right now. I'm coughing constantly. Like
Playing?
I felt like I was gonna throw up earlier. It's just like I thought I was getting better, then got sick again. Started getting better, got sick again. Like hopefully I'm good by Vegas, man, because being sick not fun. Quit petting your dragon.
Okay.
For the audio listeners, BKB has his MSI dragon that he got from PAX Prime,
Ooh.
and he's stroking
Yeah.
it on its head.
Getting
Just
a little
For audio
brand
listeners,
representation.
Are you
chilling
recording
a
for the
bit.
audio, Jake?
What's up?
You said for the audio listeners. Are you recording for the audio
I am,
portion?
yeah.
What a boss!
I'm so prepared. I'm going to get that
Whoa.
MP3 up tonight.
Oh, no, he won't.
I'm going to try. Anyways, so tonight, yeah, we're talking about a variety of things, but Zoya, you're the one that wanted to spearhead SEL. It's a new thing here. Why don't you take it away?
Yeah, SEL, it is a new, if you're familiar with what Icy Cup was for like Warcraft and Brood War, it's like its own standalone program that has its own ladder system, own MMR, its own queuing system. Basically, Tiger JK, formerly of Complexity, is known as Kionda. He was known as like a million other damn names. And then Party Foul, they made this together. It's its own little league, comparable to iCup, and it's got a bunch of the pros in North America like seriously playing. Like they do it with a draft. They do Heroes Draft, and they get put into teams, and they get in the comms together. It's not like, no voice. Everyone gets in teams speak. It's super cutthroat too. Like it's an invite-only league. Yeah, you have to get like vouched for by people who are already in the league, and if you don't do well, you get kicked out. And if you like are good at one point and you start doing worse, you can get cut again. It's really cool. Players have been streaming it. My players have all been playing it. Dread, Zuna, Soldier, and KO playing it all the time. I know other players playing it as well. I don't know, are any of the C9 guys playing it at Dunk?
No, none of them are playing in it right now.
What does it stand for?
I don't remember.
Super Elegant League. Yep, that's it.
Got him.
Yeah, Jake nailed it. But it's got like a prize. It's got like a small prize pool that goes to like the highest ranked player at the end of the season. Storm Elite League. Boom. Thanks, Calf. Beckwin. I dream. Nailed it, chat. But it's really cool. Like people stream it. People audit the games. I know I saw some people casting the games the other day. It's just. But the cool thing to me though is it's got the pro scene try-harding outside of scrims, right? And of course, they're not going as far as to reveal their strategies and games and stuff, but like it gets them try-harding mechanically, because everyone who plays it is taking it seriously, and it's really cool to see. Because that's what we've all been saying for a while. Like Heroes need something that people can just grind. That's been our gripe with Hero League for so long, is that you can't grind it and get good practice. Well, this is good practice outside of scrims.
So it's still pretty standard rule set. Do you think there's a place for something to mix it up, like a really strict map pool for something like this? You think leagues should try to, or even tournaments should try to break things up and mix it up for the competitive community?
I don't know. I think.
Yes.
Okay,
Dunk?
Dunk, go ahead.
Well, I mean, yeah, they should restrict the map pool, just so Blizzard gets an idea too. They can see if the community is restricting map pools. Maybe they should as well, because nobody in competitive wants to play on fucking Haunted Mines or Battlefield of Eternity or whatever. Let's be real.
Not true.
Oh,
Not true. In Europe, it's different.
hey, okay.
It depends. You see,
We're talking about the competitive scene.
Oh, Jared,
Yeah.
calm down.
Seriously, Fnatic, they pick Haunted Mines pretty much all the time, and it works for them. I don't know.
So
It's different from region.
Now, if Fnatic picks Haunted Mines all the time, when you play against them, do you think of that as cheese? Is this a cheesy
No.
strategy that they're good at, or it's
No.
just the strength of the team?
No, I think it's simple. They just take advantage of other teams not practicing it. There's how many maps we have? 8?
Yeah.
Right? So you have 8 maps, and if you wanna be good at on specific map, you just have to practice. None of the teams in Europe pretty much scrim. None of the teams scrim on Haunted Mines, and they're the only ones that are trying that. And because of that, they're taking free win pretty much.
Yeah.
So I think it's legit, and they're doing a good thing.
Now, Kubi, you come from Smash, was kind of a different angle. And back in the early days of Smash, the stage list was wildly different depending on where you played. Do you think?
Where, as in regionally?
Yeah, regionally,
Yeah,
tournaments, the whole deal. Don't you think that added flair to the game, where some events use this, and that was this is what's available, and then this event
there was also 30 battlegrounds or maps.
But as Heroes continues to expand,
sure, I think that's something we can revisit later.
yeah, okay, fair enough.
I think right now it's a good format. It's stale because there's not a lot of battlegrounds right now, but I think in the future it'll get better, especially when we can make maps.
If they allow us. They haven't talked about that for 3 years.
They're gonna do it.
They mentioned that
They're
3
gonna
years
do
ago as a default standard element in the game, and they have avoided saying anything for 2 BlizzCons in a row.
They'll do it.
I don't know, man.
I have faith.
So BKB, I have to ask you, how frequently do you pet that dragon?
Quite a lot.
He's
a
very
lot.
proud of it. You see.
Yeah. I got it's straight from US,
That's right.
So I have to, cherish it.
Trying to pet it and absorb the North American power. I get
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
A little power boost. I like it, man. You're smart. You're a smart guy.
Yeah, of course.
So where can players learn more about the Storm Elite League, Jared?
I don't know if there's any public way to like just look into it. It's all invite only.
Okay.
Like
so
the best
elite,
way.
elite is not at all.
Oh, it's very elitist. It is very, very elitist, which is fine because I think it's really cool to watch. But just watch streams again. Tiger JK. Or Party Foul, you can reach out to them and ask more about it. If you're interested in playing in it, like I said, I think you have to have like a voucher from someone that's already in the league. But
you can't just have high MMR and get into it.
I mean, maybe
Okay.
if like you like if you're a Hero League warrior and you play with like KO all the time, and KO's like, oh yeah, you're pretty good, let me vouch for you.
Yeah, if you're high
sure.
MMR, the competitive players will actually like recognize your name, and you'll probably be able to get in.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't be that difficult.
Cool.
We need it in Europe.
I mean, you never know.
For real,
This
it's
is
a great.
doing. Go ahead.
I just think in oral, like it's actually a great idea. Like at the moment, well, matchmaking is not like fixed. Until then, like where like pro players meet only each other, like it's just a good way to practice without scrimming, because like
Yeah.
at the moment the Hero League is just not
Yeah.
good,
Well, it's
So-
doing really well. So I could see like if it
It's
keeps
really
doing
good.
well, I could see like Party Foul, like if you guys reach out to him, like him like helping you guys set up an E or something, because it's really fun for like just what I've been watching, and like my players get hyped about it and stuff. Like every morning I wake up and they're like, look at the new rankings, and they get really really into it.
I don't even think it's like it doesn't matter like for rankings or something. I just think people in overall like what people tend to do in Europe, like same in NA, just to play with like people with other teams, but you don't have so many like teams in NA like the top tier ones,
Yeah.
So it would be just like in oral like a really good time to spend with other pro players and just practice and maybe learn a thing or something.
Yep. It's really cool.
Is there a way to see the ranking if you're not in it?
I think you have to have the client. Every time I've seen the links to that, it's always Gyazed.
That'd be something, even if you're not in it and you want to just kind of follow it to see what players are doing well, it would help to promote it, get a little more visibility to the league, if that's what the players want. I don't know if it's something they just want to keep it kind of behind closed doors just to practice, or if they want it to like get a little bit bigger, maybe have multiple leagues inside of it. I don't know.
Right now, it's only 2 people running it, and they have to add people manually. So that's why it's probably not open doors to like the world. But like if you are like a high MR player, like you consider yourself like a Hero League warrior, like of course Stray plays for a team now, but like you have people like Stray, like people who are always high MR. Like Miwa is in the league, so if like Miwa can get in, like most high MR people can get in.
Jake, you're messing it up. They can't see the names.
No. Skype can't see it. They can see
Oh, wow.
it. Skype's dumb.
You're dumb.
Oh,
No, actually, Skype is dumb because it won't let me use my webcam.
this is true.
Art the
Literally
dog?
been Googling. I've still been Googling it.
I hope that's Arthalon.
But yeah, you just like kind of queue up. You get placed with people, and it's I don't know. Like you can like every pro player is like streaming like right now.
Yeah. That's
You see
Why
them
people
stream.
0-0, 1,000, 1,000. So a lot of these people are just there but haven't done anything in it.
Yeah, a lot of them have signed up because like there's not too many people playing up, so like clearly like you can't just play it like it's not something that's going on 24/7, right? You have to play when people are on. It's,
yeah, certain times.
Yeah.
I see people ask me about
in the
it.
chat, like, hey, queue up for SEL, please. Come on, we need 2 more or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's like to me because like I come from a team where some of my members on the team they refuse to play this game outside of scrims. They do not enjoy Hero League in the slightest. They do not enjoy Team League.
Yeah.
If they are not playing scrims, they do not play Heroes of the Storm. And this is like lit a fire under their asses to get them playing, and that gets me excited because it shows that like there's always that nervousness, right? Like, is it the Hero League or is it Heroes that's not fun? Like, which part of it is it that makes people not want to play the game? And seeing them get excited about this league and actually try harding and playing shows to me that, like, it's just Hero League.
It's so obvious that the lack of a real ladder is a problem in the game. Like, we've talked about this 1,000 times, but immediately there's a ladder, something to work towards, and people are excited. Done.
There's I think there's two actually things like ladder, whereas there are actual rankings like even in game where you could like see like who is the best, like with the rank, who's the best European or NA player, and also the fact that like you're not meeting, like when I queue up, sometimes I don't have anyone in team who I know, and same in the enemy team. Like if people would actually like you have the league, the one we were talking about right now in NA, you actually play with the pro players, like it's fun, You know what they're doing. They know the rotations, they know where to go, they know the positions in the fight, They can maybe, do some awesome stuff in the team fight. But if you meet like with people who are not experienced with the competitive scene, I don't know. So yeah, that's what I want to say. That I think there's two things: the ladder, and then there's actually like the matchmaking. Yeah, like communication. Like
even to add on to that, there's no actual draft system that corresponds with the draft system you see in competitive. Like that's a huge thing for competitive players. You don't want to queue up for Hero League because those games are so not representative of what an actual draft turns out like in competitive. Like it's ridiculous.
And every team gets what they want. Like it's hard.
Yeah.
Jared, I don't know. Do you know who does the drafting? Is it a group decision and then like highest
It's a group decision. From what I've heard from Soldier, like people just decide who wants to do the drafting. Like sometimes it'll just be like, it's just a group decision because like you have to play to because every team has of course their own play styles and stuff. So like if you have Glaurung on your team, you might actually want to like draft Kerrigan or something. But if you don't, you want to like draft your team. So like everyone gives input and stuff. Now Caffeine wants to play. See guys, I knew bringing this up was good. We're getting the good players.
No, I think it's a cool idea. I think it's a great initiative for the community.
Yeah. Like I've actually been watching it. Like I don't watch Hero streams.
I do. I watch Soldier play.
I don't even watch my own team play because just like it's not fun to watch. But this is fun because again, it'll always be different from Hero League just because you'll never have comms in Hero League, right? And this everyone gets in teams, speak together, and they try hard. So there'll always be.
Why won't we have comms in Hero League? Why don't they put comms in the game?
Well, just based on experience with StarCraft, it was bad.
It works in Dota, just mute people if you don't want it. It worked in Heroes of New Earth, just mute people if they're awful. Like, come on, dude. Huh. I'm tired of catering to people who can't even figure out how to press the mute button because people will be rude or whatever. Like,
we've made Blizzard change their old ways like a few times now with Heroes. Like, that can be something else that we can hopefully get in the game because it would it's right now when I look at the two, if Hero League ever gets to this point, that's the only thing I see separating the two. And if you do get that in game, then like I said, pros are tryharding, and that's exactly what Heroes of the Storm needs right now. Is the pros giving a damn about like playing the game outside of practice, and hopefully Blizzard takes note of that, of what SEL is doing, and of course it's not a perfect system, but.
More people get into it, the better it's going to get, too.
Like, how many people were in that list, Jake? You saw, 50, 60 something?
56 or something?
Yeah, 59, yeah.
It's also good for streaming. Like you said, it could be really fun to watch,
Yeah.
Like pro players play versus each other. But yeah, like, you're right about also the comms in game. Like, when I want to try hard, for example, I have to write all the time what to do, where to go, if I really want to win the game. Because I'm tired of losing, and it's kind of annoying. But there's a lot of things that Blizzard has to add in the game. A lot of things.
People in the chat are saying Blizzard said they're working on voice chat. That's interesting.
That's good.
That's good to hear.
That's good to
know.
hear.
We can
I didn't know that. Yeah.
I mean, Blizzard is well aware of all these things, right? And they said it takes time. Actually, we had a discussion last week called The Future of Heroes where we kind of went on it was a pretty negative rant, honestly, about what we want to see in the game. And Dustin Browder actually tweeted it out and said he agrees with 99% of it. The only barrier is time. So the fact that they're responding within 24 hours about criticism of just, a random show like ours is really promising, right? Blizzard cares. They want to see this game be the biggest thing ever. And they know that a core element of that is the competitive side.
Yeah. I want to talk about today, like I brought up to Jake, just to briefly mention, Duo Q is out for Hero League. It's solo Duo Q.
That's a big deal.
Mm-hmm. They announced that, and they released it very, very quickly.
That's great. That's the kind of responsiveness.
A little over a week from the announcement, I think.
Yeah, they're already starting to show that they're willing to make these changes, and it's not just eventually we're going to do it, and then it takes 6 months. They did it within 2 weeks. of making the announcement that Hero League is making the swap to duo solo queue, and it's out. You can no longer group up more than 2 people in Hero League. And it's just like Jake said, Dustin Rose said, everything requires time, and I think I don't know. Hopefully we're headed in the right direction, because with SEL showing us what this game can cause, and with Blizzard's changing of Hero League slowly, hopefully, it's too soon to tell the impact of duo solo queue right now.
Yeah.
Let's give it a month or 2 and see how
if it helps,
it looks then, because that's exciting. I'm super happy.
The problem is I don't know if the competitive players are willing to go back to playing Hero League even with the duo solo queue. It might be too late for us until it's really obvious that it's working. But
until there are bans, I feel like a lot of people won't be involved. But
until the draft system works.
Yeah.
But now I don't have to worry about queuing up with Dreadnought duo queue and then getting hit by Maelstrom's 5-stack, or excuse me, Cloud9's 5-stack.
Right.
So, at least for the casuals like me.
I never had to worry about that, so I'm not sure.
Well, moving on, Blizzard also doing some other cool stuff geared towards the competitive scene. They've actually made an official website for esports. Now, during the last few broadcasts, we've been promoting heroesofthestorm.com/esports, but it was just a news article that had all the information about the circuit. Now it has its own dedicated website with Cattle Prod. You just saw him there. I'm going to let it cycle through again so we can see Cattle Prod's beautiful face.
It also has Thrall, and that's not esports, so...
Excuse me, Complexity ran a tournament dunk. And that worked really well.
Was that fan? There's Cattle Prod. I love it. So, yeah, they've got this whole site with all the info you need. There's a team spotlight on Cloud9. How convenient, Dunktrain. Recap, championship. There's a hype video they made. The hype video is really good. I wish we had it for the broadcast that we just did. And all the info you need about the event. Cool site. It's really well done.
Yeah, I thought it looked really clean. I was happy with it.
Yeah,
it's a handsome nerd.
It's just these things like this, that it's small, but it helps so much. Just giving people a portal to go to see.
Having an
and it's not just our
region,
region, it's all regions. So
it's global, and it's good. And who knows where it could expand, right? This is the launch, but they could make this a hub where you can find out full info on all the teams, tournament info. Who knows? The possibilities are endless, really, for competitive. So it's nice to have a place. While we're showing off websites, we will promote this very quickly towards the start of the show. We have relaunched Heroes of the Storm, or Town Hall Heroes shirts and hoodies. Basically, the timing is for 2 reasons. 1, finally got approved to do it through Twitch. This is an official Twitch T campaign. And 2, if you order one through this campaign, you'll have a shirt to rock out at BlizzCon, and we want to do a Town Hall meetup at BlizzCon this year. So,
really,
they are here. Yep. And they're now in many colors. Bam.
I love that light blue one. Every time I see it, Jake and I nerd out together.
Oh, it's so good, right?
It's really good.
So it's teespring.com/townhall. Teespring.com/townhall heroes is the old campaign. So if you go there, you're going to see it's old, it's done, it's bleh. The link is actually directly below the player here on Twitch if you're watching. And it supports us too. We can do a lot of cool stuff. We do make money off it, and we put the money in the last one towards an invitational. Haven't decided what we're going to do this time, but it does indeed support us.
Put that money in my pocket.
Moving on, let's. A lot of people want to hear about this past weekend. We had the ESL Season 3 finals, and this was playoffs. It was 2 days. And it came down to the same 4 teams was it the same 4 teams last season? No, two Arc
was in it before, yeah.
So COG, Complexity, Cloud9, and Tempo. And it ended up with Tempo and Cloud9 in the finals. Now, in the upper bracket, Tempo 3-0s Cloud9. Cloud9 has to go to lower. They 3-0 COG.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Okay.
Cognitive, really worried about those guys. They're going through roster changes right now. We'll be playing with Ivy Slime at regionals. There's internal reasons as to why shot was kicked. I wasn't actually given permission to talk about it. I didn't ask, but maybe they would have been let me go into detail. But Cognitive does not look good. going into regionals based off those games.
They look worse.
They got third again. I mean, like that.
That counts for something.
Like, I don't know. It's hard to say they don't like to just strictly say they don't look good when they just had a roster swap.
So
like,
before August qualifier, they beat you guys in. I mean, that was a laggy show match, but they beat you guys in a show match, and then at MSI they had a really close game 1 versus us, like a really close game 1.
Yeah, they did have close games against you there.
I'm like comparing it to that level play.
Yeah,
I'm a bit like it's a bit noticeable, and I hope this week of practice, because they're playing with Ivy Slime, I believe, at Vegas. I hope they can get back up, because they were definitely a threat before, but they did not look that good. And
well, they weren't playing with Ivy Slime here, and maybe they're more refined with him, right? Syracuse, great player, but who knows how much he had time to practice with the team, and that can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Also, maybe they're the kind of team that steps it up on LAN, because their game against you was tight on LAN. At the LAN center. Yeah. Where we played them, they played tighter than usual, so maybe that's just an aspect of their team, you know?
Yeah. I hope so, because they're one of my favorite teams. They're very fun, and they're consistently getting better. It's just the timing for it's very, very sad, because regionals is the thing, right? But luckily they got the easy group, so they should easily get out of that, no problem. Especially with them beating
We'll talk about groups soon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're doing the ESL right now. Not.
Yeah. So yeah. But Cloud9, they made it back through lowers over COG, and throughout the process, I mean, you guys played Butcher, Cloud9 played Stitches, and then we got to the grand finals, and Tempo Storm is up 2-0. In 2 very close games. Tempo throws game 1, and then Cloud9 counter throws, and then Tempo wins it. Game 2, Cloud9 just raw through. They just throw. Late game, they're like, all right, we're just gonna throw. And then BKB,
I mean, let's be honest though. Like for the history, for like the last month, every time Tempo Storm beats Cloud9 is because Cloud9 throws late game. Like there's like maybe one game out of every set where like Tempo Storm is winning from the start. It's always C9 winning, and then throwing.
Yeah.
And now they're like starting to get their shit together late game, and it scares me. Cause
it was same in MSI, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Exact same in MSI, except for like game 3. I think we had a lead the whole time. But usually it's like 1 game per set, or 2. Like every other game per set's just like C9 dumpstering, and then throwing. So and now they're getting that shit kind of ironed out. It looks like, which
that's good. And also kudos to you guys for having 2 of those. Like I would definitely classify them as like devastating losses, and still being able to bounce back.
5 games in a row.
6.
Because, if you look at the situations like two months ago, if you guys were in that same spot, I don't know if you guys would have had like the drive to continue. I think the fact that you guys bounced back from that and kept going and pushed forward is it's very commendable.
I'd like to take credit for that, but I don't actually know if it was necessarily like team's mental fortitude or just like the way it turned out, where like we YOLO picked Sonya and like everything was just perfect from there.
Yeah.
Like it just I don't know, like if we had played like a regular game that game and like barely edged out a win, I don't know if we would have had the energy to like care enough to continue the set. But the fact that we crushed out with Sonya and made it look insanely broken, like it looked fucking good. Yeah. Like because of that, that's what made us keep playing, I think, that day.
Here's the fun thing. Start of the day, Dream's having internet issues. Tournament actually starts 20 minutes late. Cloud9's like, yeah, we might have to forfeit. Like, whatever. It's going to be a long day anyways. Dream can't play, blah, blah, blah. Dream's internet gets fixed. They come through, and Dunk's like, I'll be honest. If we go to a lower bracket, I don't know if I want to go for 2 best-of-5s. I don't know if it's even worth it.
Yeah.
But you guys bust out that Sonya in Game 3, the YOLO pick, like you said, in dumpster tempo. It was hype. We were losing our minds. And
it was good.
It was smart.
Well, since we do have your Dunk, like I was hyping it up after MSI, and then on the day 1 cast, I was hyping it up then too. I really like the swap of Fan and iDream to different roles.
Yeah.
Can you talk a bit more about that? Like the decision behind
well,
it.
yeah, like after we played Dream on Illidan, he realized that he really liked that role a lot more, and we already had Fan playing stuff like Abathur and like the specialists in our multi-specialist comps. So like it was really natural for us to just kind of switch it around and let Dream play like the bruisery tank characters that Fan was already playing the specialists anyway. So it was really simple.
Does it change anything like internally? Like outside of just like putting Dream in a more comfortable role? Like, do you guys feel better in game, like in practice and stuff, with the swap, or is it just kind of like, moving on another day of practice? You don't really.
I'm not really sure. I think Dream definitely feels more comfortable. I don't know if it's really had a big impact outside of the team on that, but it just I think puts Dream and Fan on their better heroes more often. Like, so it's just better, I think.
Cool. Now, BKB, did you catch any of the games yourself?
Not really actually.
Well, you guys had your own events going on, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
the hours are
but
rough.
but I'm gonna definitely check them when I have time. So,
Certainly.
but I heard a lot. I heard a lot about those games. So yeah.
Yeah. If you guys did not happen to catch the VODs, you can find all of those VODs at twitch.tv/ESL_heroes. I will warn you, there is a bit of a buzzing if you are a bit of an audiophile. The quality of the stream is not as high. It was driving me nuts, and this just to talk about it. I mean, I spent 4 hours prior to the broadcast, 4 hours the night before, trying to fix it, and I only happened to make it worse. So not only was that driving me insane, but a 9-hour cast after, well, it was an 11-hour day at that point. It was pretty exhausting. So again, a big apology to the community for some of the issues with that, the overlay, if you will, and the lack of energy in some of the games because I was exhausted. It has all been corrected. I've been working to fix it all. Hopefully it sounds good today, and I have a new part being installed tomorrow that'll make it sound even better. So, is what it is. One mistake.
So, Dunk, 4 out of the 6 games, you guys just picked up Abathur instead of running with it.
Yeah.
Tell me a
They're
little bit
finally
about that.
embracing the cancer. C9 has been the most vocal team in the world about the Abathur and what it's doing to this game. And they're just like, if we can't get it changed, we're going to win games with it.
Dude, if you can't beat them, join them, man.
Exactly,
Honestly.
man.
Like, I really hate a lot. There are like a lot of design choices that have been made that I don't like, and like Abathur is one of them because of the way he influences the game and how you have to interact with him. So I don't like that he exists, but I don't think you can afford as a competitive player to not play something just because you don't think it should exist or whatever. Like, if anything, you should do your best to abuse it in competitive games.
Sure.
In an effort to get them to remove it. Not that that's had any impact whatsoever. Cough Zeratul. Like, so I don't know, honestly. I think also the way what happened is between us and Tempo Storm, like the drafts kind of developed together, and then at a certain point, our drafts got really weak to Abathur, and neither team realized it because neither team played Abathur because we both hate it. And then like suddenly when the switch flipped, it was like, oh man, now I get it. You know, like when two teams play together so much, like you will forget what your team comps are weak against if the other team doesn't run it because you don't have that threat. So like you forget to account for that in your drafting, and that's what I call like inbred drafts essentially. Like two teams practice, and like it happens with us and COG. It's like there's way more emphasis on the melee assassins because that's how COG plays, and like that's a little of how we play. So like when we both do it, it gets really weird. And then like when we play with Tempo, like they're not at all about melee assassins, so it got like super tunnely on ranged, and like by kind of taking a step back, you can maybe fix those and look to abuse, you know, the weaknesses.
Damn.
What do you think Tempo's weakness is, or you don't want to point it out?
I don't have enough time to list them. I'm sorry.
Oh!
The subjects go ham, man.
Honestly, I don't know. That's difficult. It seems like low hero pools was a problem in that, or maybe stubbornness on draft. I don't know if it's necessarily low hero pool as much as like stubborn mindset on the draft in that one series. Although they did change it up in the very last game, but at that point it was too late. It was donezo.
Change it up. Change it
Wasn't
up.
the last draft? Didn't the last draft they copied our draft?
You literally copied what you
Yeah. Hey man,
And I'm like, what?
if you can't beat them, join them, dude. If you're doing a draft and it's wrecking the other person, I think the right move is literally to just copy their draft and like try and see if it works. Honestly,
Yeah.
I
No,
mean,
that's-
if
that's
you
how the
can't
pushing-
figure out how to beat it, make them figure out how to beat it.
Okay. I mean, it's just funny that you worded it that way.
Yeah, like the perfect example I can think of is like when we first busted out Asmodan and we're just dumpstering everyone with a stacking Asmodan build. No one figured out how to beat it until I think it was Complexity started running it versus us, and we figured out how to beat it versus them, and then they just kind of spread it around. Like, or it might have been Cloud9. I don't remember who it was, but like it. If you can't beat it, man, do it until the team, like someone else beats it. Like,
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Well,
BKB, have there ever been weird comps in EU that you just have no clue how to beat? And like, how did you guys get out of that meta? Was there ever stuff like that?
Not really, I guess. Like, I know Bob run Chen, but like those are just certain picks, I guess, for lane or some other reason. But no, not really, actually. Like in Europe, I think most of the teams, like, we scrim a lot. We play actually a lot.
Yeah.
Like, I know most of the teams play 6 days a week, like for 7-8 hours. You know, like we cannot play less because the other teams are playing more. And
Yeah,
like
for
all,
sure.
like you all know how it's in Europe. Like it's really competitive. You know, like top 8. So like people just practice the compositions like as much as possible, and I guess they just try to use alternatives in the drafts and stuff like that. But there hasn't been anything weird lately, so I guess no.
how much experimenting do teams do in the drafts? Like, how diverse can the drafts be in terms of hero pool?
have you
Like,
seen
we-
like?
I know. I'm just curious. Like, does it get super weird in Europe? Like, do you
Have you
see?
seen Liquid?
Yeah,
Wait, what about Liquid's drafting?
like
They pick Vikings.
Oh,
That's-
is that weird, Jared?
oh,
Yes.
Is that like you don't know what they're gonna draft? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, you know what they're gonna draft? They're gonna draft dumb shit.
Oh my God, Jared.
Ooh.
BKB.
yeah. Well, yeah. We like I don't know. Like I guess other teams do it as well, but like we did it until this point when I talked with my team and I told actually Sevka to just maybe try to play the comms that we gonna actually play in the tournament. But like before we tried all different stuff. We tried like Gazlo with Troll on Tombs of the Spider Queen, and we used it Akubi. I think I told you when you were drunk, I guess.
Great time for that.
Like we tried it, and then we tried in a tournament, and I don't know, like if it doesn't work, we just stop using it. But yeah, it'll be like all the teams, most of the teams that like our top 8, they try different stuff. Most of them. Like sometimes you see like for example Navi run, like crazy shit like in scrims, like really weird stuff. Don't want to spoil their strategies.
It's actually kind of interesting that of like the 40 characters in the game, roughly, not counting Rexxar, there are 14 used in any given draft, right? But I think a vast majority of the hero pool actually gets used, like between North America and Europe. Like at some point, teams will use almost all the characters. Like probably of the 40, there are like 33 that actually see enough play to say that they see some play.
Yeah.
The only ones that I think don't ever see play are like Nova, Diablo. Maybe an argument could be made for like Murky.
No, even people run Murky,
What?
man.
You
Yeah.
play Murky. Your
Murky,
team
yeah.
plays Murky.
Liquid runs Murky.
Yeah. So
I
I
think-
guess there are a lot. Like there's actually more variation than a lot of people take into account. It's just that I think there's like 10 heroes that you see every single draft, and the other 4 slots are where the actual variation comes in.
Actually, I feel like Tychus is really falling into that spot too.
Yeah, Tychus hasn't seen play.
Even
in-
Falstad, ever since the GP
Yeah,
changes,
yeah.
is far less played.
Tychus
Yeah.
and Falstad too.
Tychus and Falstad both actually are probably on Nova tier right now as far as unplayed.
Well, in Europe, like teams play Tychus. Like we play
Yeah.
Tychus, like Navi, like also like I know Team Puzek like started running Nova, and then teams started trying it, but she's still weak. But they did work out. They played Liquid and they beat with Nova and stuff.
Is it
Like in Europe, we play everything. Like we just, I don't know.
for Tychus? Are they running drill or are they running Odin?
Odin.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Okay. Interesting.
I think at this point, like the game has developed, like for the competitive scene, like it's more about like doing mistakes. You know, of course there's draft and like certain heroes that work with each other, but at this point it's about like more about the map rotations. You know, doing the mistake. You know, if you have a good engage in a team fight, like even Sonya works, right? Like I don't know.
yeah.
Like most of the 95% of the heroes are viable. Like Bo plays Chen, they win the game, you know, because Chen is OP.
Chen is OP.
He's strong, man.
He's strong.
Apparently his barrel got broken this patch, though. Apparently
Maybe.
when you use barrel now, it sends people in random directions now, not the direction you're
So
knocking
it's
them.
like a Dragonite, but all over the place.
Oh, maybe that has something to do with it. No,
Is
because
that
it was
what
this
it
patch. It was
No,
that.
that's
It was
this
this
patch.
patch.
This,
It was
that's
this
this patch. Like,
Oh,
two-
like the mini patch that happened, the Rexxar one.
Yeah, yeah.
apparently
Oh,
broke
okay.
since, it's broken. Like, it
Yeah.
wasn't those. Like,
So
it
unless
just-
they made
Interesting.
like some kind of weird attempt to fix the Dragonite / Garden of Terror bug,
Yeah.
maybe that had an effect on it.
Huh. That's
Well-
weird.
Oh, yeah, and Falstad as well.
Hmm.
Like in Europe, there's actually some certain teams that prefer sometimes Falstad over Walla.
Really?
That's weird.
I don't know why though.
That's weird.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I miss Aerial Blitzkrieg, Falstad.
Really?
Just hide in a brush and charge up the big circle and just wreck people.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, BKB, we talked about some of the team changes that have been made in terms of role swapping on Cloud9, but it sounds like Virtus Pro is doing much of the same. Why don't you talk to us about the state of the team?
Like I don't something. I think we started like getting worse, or not getting worse. We actually stopped progressing. And other teams started actually progressing, and we didn't. We stayed on place when we qualified actually for MSI. And since then we have been problems. We our like we practice 6 times a week, and we have like our practices are not so so valuable, in a sense. So like we decided that we need a change. Like we were so inconsistent, and like we needed some change to make some fresh stuff for the team. So we changed Unstable and Sevka with the roles. Sevka plays now from support to AD carry. I mean, oh my god, for
yeah.
assassins.
Yeah,
like,
we understand.
He runs. Yeah, like okay, and Unstable plays supports now.
So
And
when you make that change, like what's Unstable's opinion? Like you tell this to him, you're like, hey, you're going to support now. Like, is it just like, yeah, okay? Like, does he fight back about it? Like, what is the general?
well, he comes from Dota 2. He played supports in Dota 2, but they're like completely different.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah,
think like it's not so uncommon for him. But still, like when we scrimmed, like it still feels that he needs some time. And we do have a time. We're going to boot camp actually after 5 days. We're going to boot camp for 2 weeks. So I really hope it's gonna work out, because we really needed something new, something fresh for the team, because it's just been like it hasn't been going well at all.
So you're boot camping for 2 weeks and then going straight to Prague?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
Straight-
that's awesome.
Well, I mean, I have to, my team and we have to qualify. I want to meet you all again, so I have another motivation. So.
He just
Yeah.
wants to go to BlizzCon and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna play, practice hard, and so
That's
I
awesome.
really hope it's gonna work out, because so many good teams in Europe. Any team can beat each other pretty much, like top 6. It's ridiculous.
That's a good
That's
way to look
awesome.
at it, though. That's a good way to realize that everyone's a threat and you have to train. I mean, that's awesome. I'm excited to see what you guys can do.
Yeah.
Like, I just love watching BKB talk because he just, like, mindlessly pets the dragon, and I can't stop watching it.
Okay. I'm just gonna put the pet away.
No,
No, put it back.
no.
No, I said I liked watching you do it. It's fun.
Oh.
So he's gonna start paying you to do it on webcam.
Oh God! Hello. All right. Now we can talk about
Hold
Originals?
on. I got some other questions.
Okay.
BKB, tell us about your adventures to Seattle, and how was your whole experience at MSI, and what was that like going?
Don't go too in depth about your adventures in
Yeah,
Seattle.
of course. I already like tweeted it. Like for me, like meeting actually you all, you know, like all like other teams, like European Liquid, like NA Cloud9, Tempo Storm, Cog, you know, like it was just amazing. I wrote that it was my best experience and best people I have met. It was just really nice, you know. It was a really weird feeling to meet people from online, you know. It was really nice. I think it's like probably the best experience I have ever had. Everything was
Wow.
good, except us being stumped by MVP Black, but that's another story.
At least they
Yeah.
won the tournament. It doesn't mean anything because they won.
Yeah.
But he wants
I
get that.
we were going out of our way to make sure the European teams like didn't feel isolated there, because like of course like Cloud9 and Cognitive and us are gonna hang out and stuff, but like I was making sure like we were always inviting like Virtus Pro and the Liquid guys. Liquid guys didn't really hang out with us too much. It was actually only ever Blackscorp that came
Yeah.
hang out, but like. You know, we were just making sure, like, hey, Virtus Pro, you guys want to come to dinner? And they're like, oh, yeah, sure, let's go to dinner. And they're like, hey, you know, we're going to go hang out. You want to come? And it's like making
fun.
sure you guys weren't, you know, hiding in your rooms and stuff and getting to
Yeah.
experience the city. Because Seattle's awesome. Like, that was my
Yeah,
first
it
time
really
there. It, like, beautiful city. Like, you know, I like to sit around and do nothing. But I was out every day walking to the pier or hanging out with everybody. Like, Seattle was great. And the fact that we got you guys involved in it was really, really
Yeah.
fun.
Thanks for that. Like, yeah, I don't know for my team, you know, like it's a language barrier, and maybe some people have different personalities. But for me, I don't know, I'm just super happy. Like I made quite a lot of friends, and like it's amazing. It's quite undescribable.
Dude,
So,
it was an awesome experience. And
It was.
yeah,
It was great. It was
it
a good
was,
time.
it was great. Yeah.
But all right, I think a lot of people are anxious to hear about this guy, the new flavor,
Ugh.
Rexxar. Why? Ugh, Jared.
Okay. Before
Jared.
we're talking to the competitive aspects of him,
The
let's
gates
talk about
are
the
open.
aesthetics. The aesthetics of him. Blizzard, the design of Rexxar as, you know, a character.
Visual
would be-
design.
Like just the feel of him is what
Ah.
I'm meaning. Like the feel of Rexxar. He feels like a hunter. Like he feels like a hunter would in
Yeah.
WoW. Like the way you control your pet. I've noticed that like very quickly. Like, oh, this feels like I'm playing WoW with a pet. Like, and I feel like it's going to go aggro everything in Nomergon, right? Like, you don't know what it's going to do, but you can have like some control there. So with that, I feel like honestly that like, if they're aiming to have Rexxar play like a hunter from WoW, they nailed it. Like a 9 out of 10 with just the way he feels and stuff, like aesthetically. So, like, I just want to get that out of the way before we just destroy and shit all over Rexxar, because he is fun to play. Like, he is fun in that aspect, right? He feels like you would be playing WoW almost. But damn, that AI is one of the worst design things I have ever. Like, it is like gargantuan with a few extra abilities bad. Like, some of the things that, like, if you feign death and. Like, feign death, you're allowed to control. You get control of Misha, right? You actually get to control Misha during it. If you're far away from Misha, Misha has to run all the way to your body, touch your body, before you get control, wasting half of feign death's time.
Like it's so confusing too.
It's-
Like you first do it, and it's just like, wait, what? It's bad.
I feel I don't understand like if they don't want like make a specific like targetable like Misha so you can control it just to like not make it OP, you know, so you can leech or I don't know, extra experience or something. They could make at least some max range where you can, you know, control it away.
Yeah.
But I think it really needs to be its own control. I don't know how to say it. Like same for all
like
the like
control group.
organization. Yeah, I don't know why they don't do it. Like the game would be so much like fun and better, I guess, for the characters that they have the possibility. Even like Kerrigan Ultimate, you know. Like
So,
you could do so much stuff with that.
I think the general reasoning for that is to just make like a more simple hero, like so that it's easier for people to pick up and play. But I think that they need to let go of that philosophy. For
Let
if
it
you're gonna make a
go.
hero that's this
Yeah.
complicated, just like
Someone in the
with
comments
this type of
suggested this. they've already designed Vikings, right? They have multi-control already in the game.
Yeah.
It's
You can
StarCraft.
have it as you can have it toggled or something. Like you go into settings and you can uncheck this box that gives you full control over Misha. And if you're bad and you can't control that, well, that's your damn fault for clicking the damn button. But like you have the option to have full control over Misha.
Yeah.
And it's not there.
At the very least, that should happen. Yeah, something to that.
I tweeted about it last night. Like, I've never seen a more aggressive competitive community to date. Even with artifacts, it was not that bad. There were some people who are like, well, maybe if you change this and this. I've yet to talk to anyone that's like, no, Misha, the Rexxar's fine. Like, this is how a competitive hero should be designed.
Wait, you're telling me that Misha's AI is worse than artifacts? Is that what you just said? Did that just come out of your mouth?
The community is no one has defended Rexxar. No one in the competitive scene has been like, Rexxar, this is why he's good.
All right.
There were people who defended artifacts, though. I'm saying there's like
I think
more
it's clunky.
polarizing.
I understand why they did it. Like, they wanted it to be more elegant for newer players, obviously, like you said. So I understand why. It's just clunky.
Yeah.
So let's make the assumption that the AI is tweaked in such a way that we're satisfied with the amount of control that we have over the hero. How do we feel about the talents, the actual ability design, all of that in terms of competitive or just how it feels? Jared, you already said that you liked it, but how about you guys? Dunk? Have you gotten to play him much? That's the first question.
Okay, I haven't gotten to play him, but I've played a ton of games with teammates playing him.
Okay.
He seems okay as far as like the actual character is concerned. I don't know. Like, I think we tried to run him in one scrim and it was like the worst thing we'd ever done. But for like Hero League games or whatever, we played him and like he seems fine on that level, like for Hero League or whatever. But it's just, I feel like there are issues that make it hard for him. Like, what's his actual role? You know, like what does he actually do? He feels kind of like a CC bot. When he's on your team.
I've played BKB. Do you have any opinions? Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually have a lot. Like, I think the talents are amazing. I can see like 3 different builds on him. Like, he's a similar version. Like, he's a different version of Vala. Like, she can be built like 3 different ways. I think Rexxar can be done the same way. We screamed Rocket today, and I can tell all the games that there was Rexxar, like the teams won. Rocket took one time, Rexxar, they won us.
That's
and
awesome.
We took 2 times. Like, he's great. Like, and you can do a solo boss on level 4.
Yeah.
Like, you can run. You can run different builds. Like, if there's like, if they don't have a lot of control and like a lot of, I guess, slow. Like, if Misha gets a lot of auto attacks and you take the cooldown reduction, like you have basically stun every 3-4 seconds.
Yeah.
And it's like like Misha works really great versus warriors and stuff. I don't know. I think they did a really good job with him. I really like him. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna play with him for my team, but yeah, I think he's amazing. I really like it.
So that
he's viable.
You think it's gonna be like a flex? That's why you're not gonna be playing probably.
No.
Because...
Yeah. I mean, that's why. Yeah. Like I'm more like I'm the main tank, for the team. Like.
Okay.
No.
And I would imagine that Rexxar would not be played as a solo warrior ever.
No, we didn't run
Yeah.
this.
He can't. He's horrible at it.
Yeah.
And I think like what I saw today, like if you manage to control Misha well enough in team fights, you just stay pretty much far back, and Misha does all the stuff, like pretty much like if you want to kill Rexxar, you have to go really deep, like for the carry. But Rexxar is already like, he's squishy, but he's tanky enough, to take the damage as well if someone tries to kill him, because he stands pretty far behind. So I think, if you understand what I meant.
Yeah.
We have mixed results with him in scrims. Like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like none of my comments before were like on his competitive viability. It was just he's not like fun to play.
Yeah, he's fun to play if Misha actually is being cooperative, right? In my opinion, if we could hold Misha, like a hold command, where we can have Misha actually sit in a bush and watch for a flank, Like that additional capability. The fact that Misha will constantly run out of bushes and stuff like that when you're trying to wait to ambush someone is infuriating. Like, seriously, just that one simple functionality of Misha, stay here. Misha, sit on the top temple while I lane. That capability to have that. Maybe that's a little bit strong, right? You're sitting in the top lane on Sky Temple. Misha can hold the temple or the lane, and Rexxar can do the other. That adds like a lot of flair to the hero, but instead you have this stupid AI that is really infuriating to deal with. Like, BKB, maybe you guys have just gotten better at, like, playing really responsive, but don't you feel like if you're ever in a situation where you're running away from a team fight and you want to peel and you get slowed and then Misha's 20 yards ahead of you, nowhere near you to actually hit the stun. You can't use Misha charge to peel for your team because Misha's nowhere nearby.
Yeah, that's true, but I guess you just have to, at the moment while it's like that, you just have to play around it, right? You know what I'm saying?
I guess it just seems like
I completely agree with you. I know what you're saying, for example, but like at the moment you just play differently. You know, I don't know.
Gotta work with what you got.
Like I have played like few games with it, but like in scrims, I don't know, it just worked perfectly. Like with the Misha and everything. And damn, that ultimate actually like
the bears, the wars.
No, that one is fine, but the second one, like if you take burning rage, burning range on Misha, and take that ultimate and just let it try to be on enemies carries, you know, squishy ones, like it actually does a lot of damage. And if they don't, and if it quite a lot actually, it feels, you know. And if they don't use any spells on him, like he's just gonna deal damage. And if you want to kill it, you have to use your like spells, you know. And that's kind of like cooldown, not waste of spells, but you know, like
it's actually a good bit stronger than regular burning rage. It's got a good bit more DPS to it than actually like the other warriors have. So yeah, I didn't realize how much more it was.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's another good thing about Misha. Like, if you want to kill that poor thingy, you just have to, you know, use quite a lot because he's quite tanky. He has the same HP as Rexxar almost all the time.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a great hero.
How do you feel, I'm just curious, about Bird of Prey, the 300% bonus damage to non-heroic enemies?
It's so good. It's really good. Like, it completely clears the wave at some certain level. Like if the minion, you know, if the minion doesn't like stand in the lane, but they just, you know, walk to the lane, you can just straight shoot the Q, you know, and it kills all the minions. Even
while they're walking, right? Before they
while they're walking. Exactly.
Blizzard's finally starting to catch on. Like Joanna, wave clear. Leoric, wave clear. Rexxar, wave clear. They're giving all the tanks wave clear because that's what seems to be the most important thing right now is, like, you know, Murden's falling out of favor. Why? No wave clear. Like, he's great, and he's great harassment, he's great in team fights, he's great ganking, but how the hell do you lane on Leo or Murden? Like,
you can't.
No wave clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's really true. But then again, like, I don't know. Is it a good thing?
Yeah, that's my question. Because Jared's like, they're getting it. Like, is that where we want to move? Was that the direction we want to go in?
Well, no, but like if you're like Leoric doesn't even have the talent into his wave clear. That is stupid. He is a dumb hero.
That's a little too strong.
But at least they're doing it to like they're making everyone OP, right? Like that's what they did with Cleanse, right? Like, well, Uther and Brightwing can't be the only dumb heroes in the game, so let's make every hero stupid. Like, if you're gonna,
that where you want the game to go?
No, you don't want that, but it's better than them botting everyone.
It's not better though. I think it should just be like
it makes the hero pool more viable. Like it makes things like you have more depth.
Okay, that's true.
If everything's OP, you can run everything. If only two things are OP, then you have Uther Brightwing every single game.
Then you have to think about some other things. So like Johanna, that's a level 1 talent, right? You're not giving up that much, but for Leoric, you get it by default. Rexxar, you're giving up reduced cooldown on a stun. You're giving up the ability to make him a stun bot, or you're giving up safety, 25% additional range. I think that's okay, right? If you're giving up like other big impactful things, go for it, man. That's pretty worth it.
I think they should make it more expensive for heroes to pick up. So like I think they should move it to level 7 for Johanna.
I agree.
Leoric should have to talent into it.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, that would be a good change actually.
That way she's giving up battle momentum or something. Even though that's not like that impactful of a
It's
talent.
still
like,
something, right?
It moves it
less
to later,
shields,
and it's yeah. I don't know. So
Well,
I would like to see that.
Do people in A always take battle momentum on Joanna?
Most
Usually.
of the time, there's some
Okay.
sins exposed. There's some conviction taken. I would say like 60% of the time we see battle momentum.
Okay.
So overall thoughts about Rexxar BKB? He's God tier. Where would you rank him?
Like top 2. I mean tier 2 top.
Okay.
Probably. Like he deals also a lot of damage. Like today, I think we had China and Rexxar, and like Rexxar had like 5k less damage than
That's really
China. Like it's pretty good, you know. Like maybe it was because their setup had like 2 tanks and another melee, you know. Like it depends on a lot of stuff. But I think he's really great. So top tier 2.
Dunktrain. First impressions.
Thematically cool, hindered by the AI, like we said. Overall and competitive, probably a niche pick. You probably won't see him rotated early, but you might see him as 4th or 5th picks, depending on your composition and the enemy composition.
I like to look at him as the Tyrande of warriors. How do you guys feel about that statement?
What the hell does that mean?
He kind of.
It means he's got a nice butt, Zoya.
Oh,
Oh,
damn.
yeah.
So
Well, let's word it that way.
he's kind of got some warrior peel. Tyranda's kind of got some heal. He's good for rotating and ganking, and he's good against map objectives, right? You can spec him to be really good against the boss. Well, Tyrande has Hunter's Mark. She's really good against the boss with Hunter's Mark. Blowing up things like an Immortal. He can be really good at dealing with stuff like that. So he feels kind of like that role to me, personally.
Like, those are aspects of Tyrande, not her role.
But she's like a weird support that's very good at those things, and he's a weird warrior that's very good at very similar things.
I see what you're saying. I agree.
That seems like a coherent statement, yeah. I don't think either of them are viable as a solo member of like
course
their
not, yeah.
archetype.
I'm also
But-
saying that as well.
Yeah, they play second fiddle, okay. That seems possible.
I like that, though. Second
In the
fiddle.
draft, it's just gonna be a main tank, and then there's gonna be, again, like, or it's gonna be like a second tank Tyrael, or maybe Anub, or maybe, Rexxar. That's what
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
about
agree.
Rexxar.
Definitely. He won't be solo.
Like, so maybe it's not top 2 tier, but like, yeah, he's good. He's good.
Cubes, any thoughts?
I think that the initial knee jerk that he's awful, trash, or whatever because of the AI, it's a bit much. I think that he.
Agreed.
No one ever, when they sang that, commented on his viability and competitive play.
So what was the initial statement then? Like it was just
that design is not like
just the AI is what
every
I'm
pro
designing.
player wants to be able to be flashy, be able to show why they're mechanically better than people by having more control. And this is less control. That is what everyone was like.
Okay. I thought it was just like
This is
he's garbage.
not-
Okay, all right.
No,
I got
no
you.
one was
I
ever
misunderstood.
like Rexxar's bad.
Okay.
It's just they don't like the way he's played. They want more control.
I think we will see that. I'm sure in the next patch they'll find some nice quality of life things to put in that will slowly get better. I think he will be good. I'm not going to say broken tier yet, but or anything like that because my guess for Leoric was pretty far off, so I'm not going to refrain from judgments.
What do you say about
So
Leoric?
Lord
I-
would be
I
the
said-
worst, most worthless hero ever.
No, I said Leoric was going to be Arthas tier, which lately not that far off. But
Yeah, and I'm like, all I said was Leoric's only going to be seen in double warrior compositions. Kubi said he's going to be Arthas tier, and I'm the one that gets bodied all the time. Kubi.
oh, I get bodied more than you.
What's
do.
in your nose, damn it?
I don't know. Just got stuff in my nose,
Yeah. Hello? Quality.
Quality.
All right. Moving on. We know the final results for top 8 in Europe. BKB, what are your thoughts on this? We know that 8 teams. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, it's gonna be rough. There's even alternate, right? Like they beat Navi 2-0, but they had a sub, and then they lost 2-3 versus Bob. And Bob is supposed to be top 3, in Europe. it just works out for them. Like I guess the drafts and like the patches and everything, they're quite a good team now. And and then there's Rocket again, who wins, all the Road to BlizzCon thingies. And then there's Navi, and then there's like Fnatic who can win. Like it's I don't know. I actually don't have any opinion, except that any team can pretty much beat each other, which is kind of good because the level in Europe is equal and high. But then again, like maybe it's just maybe it's our each team's problem, that they can't be consistent, But then again, I might be wrong because there's so many different styles, and it's just way too hard to like adapt to each style, each draft, Like in NA, it's a lot easier, I think, because there's like 4 top teams.
Do you think if they reduced the map pool to say 5 maps, it would increase the consistency of the teams because you wouldn't have to practice like as dramatically different things?
Well, yeah, I actually think so. Yeah, because we've been practicing specific maps lately just to prepare for specific teams, which is kind of which is okay, right? But at the same time, we're not practicing other maps because we don't have time for it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that's like a serious thing. Like your team's rotations and like game understanding. It's surprising how important the map it is. Like it matters so much, and I think that 9 maps is definitely too many.
Yeah,
I'm just not sure where the right number is between like 3, 5, 7, something like that. I'm not sure where the right number is, but 9 is way too many, and especially given how dramatically different they are, like in terms of economy of experience and like how you have to play them, it's really difficult to get good experience on all of them.
Well, logistically, here's a question. There are 9 maps. Sure, that's too many. We can all agree on that. But in theory, the longest any event's ever going to have is a best of 5 in terms of a series. With 7 maps, both teams get a ban.
Yeah.
But if you remove 7, you limit it to 5, there are no bans. Do you prefer that? Bans only for best of 3, and a best of 5 is going to be all 5 maps. You think that's a good system? Because best of 3, you're still giving each team 1 ban. Does that feel right? Or do you want the 7? Do you want the multiple bans? Do you want more control in the draft? Like, as a player, what do you prefer, Dunktrain?
For us, I'm trying to... Well, like, if you're a competitive player, you have to look at it from the perspective of which format would we be stronger at personally, right?
Sure.
Our team. To be honest, I think we would be stronger on the 7 eliminate 1 format per team than the 5 with no eliminations format. But again, it just depends on which 5 are selected. If like different tournaments select different 5 maps, let's say there's one tournament, it's the official Blizzard tournament or whatever, and the 5 maps selected are like their classic maps. Let's say it's a year from now and they're doing a throwback classic maps format, and it's the 5 old maps. It's like Dragonshire, Garden, Cursed, Black Hearts. Like we'd be strong as hell on that 5 map format. But then like if there's later and it's like we're gonna do a 2-lane format where it's 5 maps and they're all 2-lane maps, our team would hate that, I feel like. So in that situation, you'd rather have 7 so you can ban out the worst ones. I think it just depends.
BKB?
I'm just typing now. Like, how many maps are in CS:GO competitive, right? How many?
Probably.
Does anyone watch with you?
No, I don't.
How
6,
many that
7?
actually get played are like 5.
No,
I
but
think.
the maps get banned,
Yeah.
Okay, I actually played 5 or 6, I don't know, right? And it's kind of when you compare it, maybe it's ridiculous, but it's kind of similar, Like they also have to, prepare each map. Like I think it's even harder for them than like in HOTS for the team, because this game is a little bit more like a little bit more, but it's more dynamic. So I actually don't see an issue having a lot of maps. Like back to the topic about the EU thingy. Like I think it's more difficult for all the teams because of different playstyles, not because of the maps, I guess. But yeah. I don't know. I don't see having a lot of maps an issue. Maybe just cut them to like 7 maps max, 7 competitive maps played, and then you can ban like those maps, and that's it. That's what I think.
Yeah. Chat's gonna riot because I changed the scene to Rexxar for a little bit. Yeah, I mean, even StarCraft, I just checked WCS Season 3 map pool, 7 maps. So,
And
7 maps.
Okay,
but
you know,
best of
StarCraft
five,
does
player bans one.
they play best of fives more often, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so each
okay.
player bans one. I think it goes ban, ban, and then it goes A, B, B, A. So the format, if I'm not mistaken, is A bans, and then B bans, and then A picks, and then B picks 2, and then A picks the last one. I probably just confused everyone that's not very familiar with tournament terminology and
Yeah.
systems. But anyways, who knows? As it stands, I believe every single map is legal for America's Championship,
Oh God.
America and Europe. I'm not certain on that, but as far as I understand,
I hope not.
I don't think they've made an announcement based on that yet.
There's no map bans.
I don't think they have
No map bans.
said
Everything is
for
legal.
sure.
There's no map ban.
Well, based on what they've said thus far, who knows?
I mean, unless they like, ESL like telling us format changes last second, so that could still happen here.
Yeah.
Well, did they confirm the format? I haven't heard
They
anything
have
about
not.
it.
They have
so-
not. They have not.
I mean,
I'm just going based off what every other format's been so far. Like they did change up with this one going into groups, so
Yeah,
maybe
that's
they will
true.
change more too. I hope, but they have yet to say anything. I can actually, I'll ping someone about that now. Well, CS
Maybe they
Steve's
should
listening.
just
He can ping me if he knows
Randomly
me.
select the
Let's
map
say.
you play on. Randomly select the first pick. That'd be great.
So
Every match.
speaking of groups, we can talk about the America's Championship, which is just over a week away. Now, anyone watching right now, we will not have a town hall next week, as Jared, Kubi, and myself will all be flying on that Wednesday. Dunktrain, all the
I'm flying
players
Tuesday.
are
Players are
flying
Tuesday.
on Tuesday. Okay, Kubi and I will be flying on Wednesday.
Yep.
So definitely will not have a show next week. Unfortunately, we might. I'm gonna bring some gear, and I might try to record something live in Vegas. I'm bringing my camcorder, which I use to record. So I want to do something live there because it's going to be such a cool event. I mean, I need to have that. So might try to pull something off. I might. Hey, see Steve, if you can pull some strings and help us get a place where we have internet, I'd love you forever. I said that on air, and I probably shouldn't have done that. Now the pressure is on.
Oh man, let's do an episode live on the stage, like. In between
Oh,
matches.
that's another
Make it-
beast.
that'd be fun.
Oh man.
We already did one from Blizz HQ. Let's do one from regional stage.
Hey, Town Hall fans, bug
Tweet at CS
bug
Steve.
Blizzard and let us do a Town Hall at BlizzCon.
Tweet at Kim Fan.
Yeah.
Let them know.
So
Yeah.
group stage.
Can you link that in chat, Jake?
The Liquipedia.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, so much effort, Jared.
I'm sorry.
So much
Yo,
effort.
okay, I want to ask something.
ahead.
Actually, like in the NA regionals, who is like top 4? You know, like except Cloud9, I guess, and Tempo Storm. Like, who are those two other teams that could like come?
Complexity.
Huh?
Cognitive and complexity, probably.
So the other teams from other like.
We don't know.
Like,
we really
don't
don't
know?
know. I mean,
Wait,
based on
okay.
what we saw from Southeast Asia at MSI, they're probably not going to make it.
Okay,
Mhm.
BKB, let me ask you a question then. Before you guys went to MSI, which region was going to win? Nobody knew, right? It's a very similar situation
Yeah.
for us here.
Well,
We don't
It's
play.
not
We've
that-
never
it's
played
not a
these.
similar situation
Okay.
at all. Not a similar situation.
No, we
at all.
don't. We don't know.
I don't know.
Australia, Latin
know. We-
America, wild cards.
Okay, there is a difference, right? When you look at China and Korea, those guys look mechanically like monsters. That is disgusting, terrifying, and you can't tell the difference between NA and EU when you watch them, but you can tell the difference between NA and Korea. And you can also tell a difference between the AUNZ and the SEA and the Latin America scene as well. You can tell the difference because it is that much worse. You can
Oh.
see it, like
Yeah.
the mechanical differences there. So you say we don't know, but like going in MSI, it was the drafting we didn't know. We know based off play that it's not very impressive.
Well, we got
I
Temple. Go ahead.
No, just to Kubi. Like you asked me, I like didn't answer. Yeah, I had an idea about who's gonna take MSI, and
Oh.
I was like, I guess it was MEP Black. Like just from actually watching their games, like we played them in China, we still like sucked and stuff. But like when we watched their games and I watched their games, it's just I don't know. They're like it seems like they knew everything, in each situation, what to do and stuff like that. And they're like mechanically good, and their team fights and rotation. But yeah, about EU and A, like it's the same old story, I guess, which is not an old story now because NA is stronger than EU, or no?
Just roll his eyes.
Thanks, Dunkus.
So,
No problem, boys.
But yeah, like,
I don't know if we told this story last episode when C9 beat Liquid, like all of us like on Tempo got up and we were waiting backstairs and we were clapping for them as they came down and then Dunktrain looks at me and Jen and goes, "Now it's your turn." And then we got bashed by Korean so hard. I was like, I can't look at Dunk. And then he comes up to us. And then we went around the corner and like Cloud9 was just standing there and they were just like, "What happened?" And it was like, "Oh, we let you guys down so hard."
It was actually an excellent experience, like watching Tempo and Cloud9 be like best friends in that instance, right?
Just
They
for a
were,
very
for a
moment.
very short frame, they were, so united, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, MVP, they bodied Tempo. They looked good. But let's talk about America's Championship. We've got 8 teams: Tempo, Cloud9, COG, Complexity, Murlocs, and then from Latin America, it's Brave Esports. Relics will be representing Southeast Asia. What?
They're called Bro.
Bro.
Brave
Yeah,
Ozone.
Bro.
And then slayed me. And then Immunity from Australia and New Zealand. From that, it breaks down into groups. Groups will be faced off. Tempo, Murlocs, and wait, yeah, this is one group. Group A. It's weird. Why
Yeah.
are these red?
Because they don't have the link. If you click on the page, there's no link to it.
Yeah, it's
Gotcha.
a wiki thing. A team
Gotcha. So Tempo, Murlocs, Immunity, and Cloud9 in one group, and then Relics, COG, Brave, Ozone, and then Cole. Now, a lot of people don't necessarily understand what this means, but essentially, when it boils down to it, Kubi, you were actually explaining it to me, so why don't you explain it to the
So
viewers?
for each group, basically you're going to have 2 teams, as you guys can see on the webpage. They'll play against each other. So Tempo Storm, Murloc Geniuses, Immunity versus Cloud9. Then it's going to go to a winners match. The 2 teams that win from those previous matches will play against each other. The 2 teams that lose will play each other. So from that loser match, you have one that just immediately gets ejected from the group. The winner of the winners match gets first seed and goes into the playoff bracket. Then you will have a decider match, and the winner of that match will get second seed, going to the other side of the bracket.
Yeah. This was standard in StarCraft for a while.
Yes, they did this quite often in GSL groups, etc.
So that means that
Really good format.
top second, in theory, could be 2 teams from the same group. And
top 2 for the entire event.
top 2 for the event, right? To advance
Oh,
to
yeah,
BlizzCon.
yes.
So in theory, like Tempo Cloud9 could advance to BlizzCon.
Yeah.
Or
The
what's
moment I saw the
interesting
groups,
is
I was
Cole
really.
COG.
Oh, go ahead, Dunk.
Never mind. I lost it.
No,
Sorry.
fix it.
Fix it.
Well, I was
No,
just talking about. I was going to talk about how like the group thing makes it interesting. How seeding into a round of 4 single elim out of the group stage is like really, really terrifying
Yeah, it is.
because you have to get out of group stage. The group stage itself is essentially a double elim tournament to get the spot in the top 4, and then you play one match to decide if you go to BlizzCon, right? Like that's terrifying.
Yep. It's scary. Like no double in bracket is terrifying. And like before we saw when I first saw the groups were announced, I was like, shit. If Cloud9's not in our group, like we could hit them in
Yeah.
semifinals,
Yeah,
and one of
there's
us
that
doesn't go to BlizzCon. And if they are in our group, something weird could go wrong, and like one of us gets eliminated through like just having an off day or something. Like it's just like, oh, this format can lead to like there's no second. There's like only in group play you get a second chance, right? It's like.
Yeah.
It's really scary. So like I was very relieved when I saw us in the same group, but then we have to play each other in that group. So it's like
Yeah,
ugh.
it'll be interesting.
And he's also confirming best of 3 until the grand finals, which will in fact be a best of
Yeah.
5. That's a new thing for the NA Opens.
No.
Was it? The
Well,
finals?
I guess the best of 5 finals thing, right? Sorry, I
Yeah,
thought you were
that's-
referring to
yeah,
best
that's
of
what he's
3.
getting
Best of 5s, yeah, for the finals. We've never had best of 5 finals.
There's always 2 best of 3s, yeah. Is it starting up? Can you confirm if it's starting up 1-0, Matt? Oh, no, it's not. It's not double.
Oh, it's not double them. It would not. Yeah,
it's not
that
double
would not be
them,
the case.
It's just best of 5 finals. Yeah,
There's actually fewer games than what we would normally see at Opens. So Opens, I think, were 14, maybe 15 series, and this, I believe, is 13, with a best of 5 added in. So probably will be about the same amount of broadcast
Content,
coverage.
yeah.
probably makes sense just because live event, a lot more can go wrong.
Yeah.
There's going to
So-
be more downtime because you have to reset the stage with the teams.
Yep.
So people are used to
We know
actually.
this from MGA. Things go wrong. Computers need to be swapped
Yeah.
out. stuff like that happens. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it
I
can
mean,
be
you're dealing with 10 players,
yeah.
10 computers, all in a live audience on a stage with a million other variables and a much larger staff. But I can't wait to see what they're busting out, because Dorm, like, I was privileged to work in the TV truck on Dorm and see how it's all done. But if they're going to go for that caliber of broadcast, it's going to be insane. And that's for Europe as well. Like, Europe is even bigger, right? Prague is not just Heroes. Prague is it's Heroes, it's Hearthstone. They've got 120 setups for Overwatch in Prague. Like, that's going to be a huge stage, man. You got to be pumped.
Yeah, no, it's exciting.
Looking forward to it.
Hype. No, it's really cool. And like, I don't know how much I can go into detail, but like, based off how Blizzard's treating the teams, like they've heard our feedback from like previous events and stuff. I don't know what all I can say is, but they've definitely upped their game. And we are being taken care of very well in Vegas. I want to say things, but I don't know what I can. So, but we're getting treated well, like the teams are. We've got a list of like everything that's like what we'll have, what we'll be able to do and stuff. And
You
it's
mean
just, like,
we'll actually have our hotels throughout the whole duration of the event? Is
Yeah,
that
that-
it?
Yeah.
Hotels won't get canceled after
Hey,
day
you cross
2
your
of the
fingers,
event?
son, maybe.
My God, dude.
That's
so
hype.
Blizzard's doing good stuff.
Facts,
Vegas is going to be such a great event. I can't be more hyped for it. Casters are great. The best teams are there. I want to go ahead and say that Murlocs is definitely a dark horse in this event.
Yeah.
Like they just randomly, like, they've been really bad lately, like the last 2 months, but like they have been practicing hard from what I've heard, and they're always like a dark horse. Like they can always just suddenly do something really dumb and like just dominate people. So I'm really looking like I don't think they'll make it out of groups, but I'm really excited to see games versus them because. Like, we already know the whole cognitive complexity story. We already know the whole tempo Cloud9 story, but I'm really interested in seeing what Murlocs is going to do at this event, because it's their first LAN, and
That's true. Yeah, good point.
you know they've been hiding.
Complexities as well. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, Complexity's first LAN too.
All right. So that's going to be hype. That's just over a week from now. Like we said, a lot of us will be traveling out to that. Be sure to tune in to Blizzard or twitch.tv/BlizzHeroes for the broadcast. There's a bunch of news. Kubi and I, they actually announced it. We will officially be casting that along with Gilly, Babel, and Trixler.
Yep.
What was your guys' portraits? What heroes did it send you to?
I'm Chen.
I'm Stitches.
I don't get that shit.
I think it's just like
Chen.
As for each of them, this is clickable, and it's like Gilly's like arrogant and stuff. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Let me find it so I can.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, so I can show context, just so everyone
Casters,
understands.
like the portrait, like I thought I was gonna bring to like a bio of the casters, and it just sends to like the default hero page on Heroes of the Storm.
So you see this? There's all the
Yeah.
news. Oh, they did. They
did it.
They added it.
Tastosis.
I didn't think they added it. So Tastosis have actually been added to the casting lineup.
Jeez.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I have known this, but well, it's on the official news post. So Tastosis will also be there with Chobra and Anna Prosser hosting the stage.
Man, Trixler's so cool. He gets his own row.
I'm
That
next
guy's
to
such a legend.
Tasteless. Oh God, he's so handsome. Anyways, they removed the links.
Remove the clicks.
No! If you clicked me, I was
no.
Stitches. Kubi was Chen. She was
was
Kerrigan. Babel was
Asmodan.
Asmodan. It was so funny. But yes, Tastosis will indeed be there casting with us. It's such a privilege and an honor to be able to work with people of that caliber. I mean, working with Chobra was awesome. Working with
Chobra's
Anna,
great.
Tasteless, and Artosis now again. And Trixler.
Chobra is super chill. Holy crap! I'm really
Chobra's
excited.
so down.
Chobra is like super cool. Like I was really like just like he's always been a great host and it's always impressive. But just like talking to him and stuff, like just getting feedback from him, Chobra's freaking awesome, man. I'm so glad he's doing hero stuff.
Yeah. So that's incredibly exciting. And I wanted to shout this out. The Score Esports is basically the Score is an app designed for sports fans to follow the scores of your favorite football team, whatever, baseball, you name it. Well, about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, they released an esports app, and just recently they started doing coverage on Heroes, and it's actually quite great. So I encourage everyone to get the Score Esports app, actually tweet at the Score Esports, and just say, thanks for covering Heroes, because more companies that are putting effort into writing genuine content and covering the game help build the competitive scene. So by supporting their content and, absorbing it, taking part in it, well, you help grow the scene in that way. So a big shout out to them for all this great coverage. I mean, they're showing, I didn't even know this. There's this roster swap on Panda Global. This is news to me, right? This is how on top of it they are.
Yeah,
so,
no, this is in-depth stuff, man.
This is really valuable content, like beyond valuable. They know what they're doing. They're professionals, and
hype, man.
It's really good for the hero scene.
Yeah, they covered the Rocket and Cloud9 wins. Like that's like really cool. I have not seen it before. You just shown it. I know you want to talk about it, but that's really good shit.
Yeah,
I'm hyped, man.
Is there any topics we haven't talked about? I think we might have run through most of it. I want to give the floor to Dunk and BKB to just kind of talk about, if there's anything you guys would like to talk about. This is an open avenue for the players to talk about the game. Nothing.
About the game?
Anything. The tournaments, games, what you want to see, what you like.
I want to say I'm a Cloud9 fan.
Oh, no.
The balls on this man.
Dunk, we got you covered.
I do.
Well, I'm probably getting kicked out of my team, though.
It's okay. Like, when Zuna was on C9, like, they just gave him, like, 300 shirts. And, like, literally, that guy is walking around in C9 stuff all the time. Like, I had this, like, when packing, like, when we went to MSI, I was like, I need you to go through your luggage right now and take out every C9 shirt. He's like, why? I'm like, I know you got 4 in there, bro. Take them out now. He just walks around in them always. It's hilarious.
Nice. Thank you, BKB.
Yeah.
What a guy.
I'm a C9 fan, man. When you guys win, like when we win, it's not like fun. It's just like Temple Storm doing triple rings. But when C9 wins, it's always flashy. It's always something cool.
Getting bodied by Sonya.
Even I'm a C9 fan, man. You guys are always fun when you win.
Yeah.
Okay, BKB, if you could add one hero to the game from the Blizzard universe, who would it be?
The one who says stay a while and listen?
Oh, God.
Everyone wants Deckard
Dude,
Cain.
imagine his fucking ultimate. Like, he says stay a while and listen, and then enemy team just comes to him, like I don't know,
just get
who to
bodied.
compare. Like, it's like a taunt, 5-man taunt. Most OP shit. Deckard Cain, definitely. Just because how nostalgic he is and stuff like that.
Yeah, I used to think the nostalgia of Rexxar would be an awesome addition to the game, too. Then my dreams were crushed through terrible AI.
All right, question for Dunktrain.
Yo.
What are your hopes for Medic?
Oh, God.
I already asked him about this on his stream. He is not hypermedic.
I hope Medic has buttons that do things that don't heal. That's my hope. My dream, Jake, I have a dream that one day Heroes of the Storm will have supports that do things other than heal their teammates.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, right?
Well,
Discipline Priest, man. They're coming. But Blizzard just give them penance anyway, so they'll heal.
Yeah.
Damn it.
but you
Blizzard.
have
Lightwell, penance, like they'll give it to him.
Lightwell is Holy Priest,
All right,
you clown.
All right.
Way to be a clown.
But they are making interesting heroes lately. Like the same Rexxar, right?
Is interesting
And
always been, though. Like there are very clear holes in this game that can be filled by like just a standard normal hero. Like doesn't have to be weird. There's just like giant gaps in this game where like that could easily fix up compositions and drafting. That just like you just put like a standard simple hero here with like easy with just simple spells, and it's cool that Blizzard's pushing the Browns with Abathur, Rexxar, Vikings, but they don't have to do that with every hero. Like Leoric, got Butcher with like the super aggressive, which I guess isn't super weird, but he definitely was different. Like we need just like a normal hero That's not medic.
Well, I think their design focuses on thematic before gameplay, is the impression I get. Like, they
Yeah.
want the gameplay to be good, but they're more interested in telling a story and having a coherent thematic, aesthetic element to the characters. That's the impression I get. So that's why I think, actually, if you're talking about Leoric, you're talking about Butcher, I think, like, thematically, those are huge successes.
Yes, absolutely.
Rexxar, I think, thematically is a huge success. Do I think they're necessarily the best kit you could possibly make from that character's lore? Probably not, but at least they're, thematically coherent, and that's okay. I'm just a little frustrated with supports because it seems like all the supports they've chosen have just felt like healers, not like I can do other things as a support. But
I
complex
disagree. Like Tyrande is a support, right? Tassadar is a support.
okay, those two.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
absolutely
of course,
agree.
But
Okay,
the game is
well-
the game's new, right? I mean,
Well, here's what I'm saying. I think every support should be like Tassadar or Tyrande, is what I'm saying.
every
Like-
support. So you don't want heals in the game.
He doesn't want heal bots. He thinks like big
Okay,
healers like
okay.
Uther, Rhaegar, where their only purpose is to heal, is
Okay.
boring.
I think the moment that the standard for your fifth character, let's say, is a character that has at least one heal button plus a healing ultimate or a life-saving ultimate, I think when that's the standard, the game has a problem. I think it's a systemic issue. I think Tyrande is magical. I think she's awesome. I wish Tassadar was like an actual support, because then, like, if Tassadar was your ballpark for a support, I think Tassadar would be great if he was like the standard level for a support. He has a high-impact shield that prevents a lot of burst damage on a target. He gets in people's face. He has to support by like tanking damage and dropping it off with his E that heals. Like, that would be a compelling support character if all the support characters that didn't just fill your health bars back up, if those didn't exist, Tassadar could be a viable support.
The most fun actually games we run with Virtus Pro some time ago, it was actually running no support, like a real support, but running tasks with Tyrande in the same team. And
Yeah.
it was enough.
Yeah.
Like, we got
Yeah.
a lot of wins. It's so
For
fun.
sure. It's so
Like,
much fun.
Yeah, C9 used to do that back in the day.
Those are my favorite comps because I get to play Tyrande in those comps, and I don't get to play that character ever anymore.
Well, I completely understand you, but then again, it's a question like individual person choice. What if there's actually people who like to be a heal bot, Like, what if they just prefer, staying in the back line and just healing, taking care of their teammates,
Those
Stuff
people
like
can
that.
go back to playing WoW rating. I
Okay.
loved healing in WoW rating. Honestly, I
Wow.
loved healing in WoW rating. That was my favorite role in WoW rating, but that doesn't mean that I think it's healthy for a MOBA game.
Oh.
So I don't think healing belongs in this game, like at the level it's currently at.
Yeah,
I
I agree.
agree, I guess.
I agree.
Yeah.
How do you guys
Interesting.
feel about the new battleground?
Oh.
Oh, that's
That thing.
like,
Ugh.
yeah, I don't know. Like, if it's gonna be in BlizzCon, and if there's again a specific team in Europe, I hope there's none that is practicing only Infernal Shrines. I'm pretty certain it's a insta win, because like the games I have played on Infernal Shrines are Team League and maybe one or two scrims, and like it feels so random. Like the drafts and the picks and the way, like the golem, like seriously, like it just jumps. Doesn't matter where you are, it just jumps, and like if the team follows up, you're dead. I don't know. I think it's ridiculous, and it's kind of. I would say that's the only cheesy map, but that's my opinion.
I mean, I think a lot of people would agree with you. I think.
No, it's not the only cheesy map.
Well, but it's,
Oh,
a lot
well,
of people
in
think it's the
Europe-
worst
in
competitive
Europe.
match.
In Europe, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's fun to play on, but as soon as I get try hard, I hate it.
Well, yeah.
Dunk?
I don't have a very strong opinion on the map. I think the only thing that's really bad about it is the last hitting the minions on the shrine mechanic. I think that's really frustrating.
Yeah.
But other than that, I actually kind of like the Infernals, even if it's
Wait,
a
the-
little snowbally or like
the
too
John
much
Cenas?
sometimes.
The Punishers, you like them?
I like them conceptually, and I like them when it's not like way too snowbally. Like if they could find a way to fix that, it would be good.
I think they should just tone down the siege damage they do.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
if they're going to
if
be
you-
silly stun version, then it's like, okay, you got to respect them, but like that doesn't mean like you have to just walk away from your fort while it's getting sieged by it, you know?
Yeah.
Well, it definitely feels like a casual map. That's for sure.
Oh, see,
Which again necessarily isn't a bad thing, like especially if they eventually limit those kind of maps to like quick match or just like custom games for like having fun. Like
Okay,
not
if
every
people
map-
are having fun playing it, I get a lot of
Well,
feedback
I'm just
that,
talking like the design philosophy. Like that's an interesting thing you said. It seems like a casual map. That's not something people really talk
No.
about much.
Yeah, it doesn't,
Like,
that doesn't
if
mean
it eventually
it's
gets to the point where casual maps get released, yet they're not in Hero League, you know, they're just like, we want to release this dumb StarCraft map that has lava floating out of nowhere. It makes no sense, but it's just super fun to play on. It's going to be quick match only because it's not competitive. Like I like that idea a lot. But you're right. Like it does seem like more of a casual map. Hopefully, like eventually Blizzard like has a competitive map pool, right? Where like you have that in Hero League and quick match is just YOLO whatever.
All right. So people just want to hear about chain bomb change. It's pretty simple. It's the one and only balance change in this patch, to my knowledge.
No, that's not true.
To my knowledge, I said.
Well, I'm going to drop some knowledge bomb. They actually
Drop it
took out-
after. Chain bomb has been changed to only trigger to 3 targets that are not already afflicted with the fire, the living bomb. So it no longer you can no longer walk into a lane and then have it blow up and chain a trigger and kill a hero instantly. Right, if a hero is standing in the lane, you've seen 1,000 times, 1,000 gifs on Reddit of that Jaina getting exploded, auto-killed, and that's no longer a possibility. Thoughts on that?
Good for the noobs, sure.
Good for us.
Good for us.
We
yeah.
literally lost.
Good for us as well.
I think we literally lost both games at MGA. We lost to Tempo Storm. We literally lost to Chain Bomb on a creep wave, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you
Like, there
did.
was one distinct team fight where we tried to re-engage, and it was like, oh, oops, there was a creep wave. We just lost the game because of that.
Yeah.
Well played.
It's dumb.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Cognitive did to us in the tournament too. Like,
yeah.
really silly.
So it's good that that aspect is gone. I don't know if it actually impacts the balance that much. It just gets rid of, like, that really weird situation. I think it's good, though. Like, it was a good change. Glad they stuck it in there. Nice of them to actually do a balance change.
Yeah,
Well.
just like that's a good point to bring up because like usually balance changes don't come until these like huge balance overhauls, and it's like hard to tell how much an individual effect would have had because everything gets changed, right? But this is them like I think it might be the first time they've ever like outside of like bug fixes, right?
They've had a few
This is
like
the
this. A few like small tweaks that feel nice.
No, I don't think so. Not out of nowhere. Not like a specific balance.
Oh, I see.
Like
Just
breaking, like they fixed bugs before that, where it's like clearly a
I
broken
see.
feature.
I see what you're saying.
This is them actually going out of their like clearly it's with Rexxar being released, but that didn't have to be with a patch.
You're right.
They've always just done it in a phase. Where, like one hero comes with a big patch, and then another one just comes out no patch. Well, they were actually just like we're gonna balance fix this, and I think that might be the first time they've ever done it, which is cool.
Kubi, you got more knowledge bombs for us?
I'm going to take you back to a time. Start
God.
of the August Open. Every team all of a sudden was playing Avathyr for seemingly no reason. We had no idea why. We were like, what's going on with this? And we find out the next day, oh, the mines are giving like 3 times as much vision as they're supposed to. Now, it didn't end up working because Avathyr had like a 20% win rate or something like that, but they actually removed that from this patch. So if teams were picking it for that reason, which I don't think is the case for Cloud9, that's no longer a thing.
Well, yeah, but
Cool, yeah.
people don't have Fan on their team, so they shouldn't run Abathur if they don't. Because Fan is the dumbest person in the world. He makes no sense. He's a disgustingly good Abathur,
He is
and no
really
one else
good.
can. No one else in NA can play Abathur like Fan. It is really dumb, and I hate him.
In every aspect of his active play too.
Because
The
like
vision, the rotations, the
when
push.
we play him, when anyone plays him, it's like, oh, who gives a crap? It's Abathur. Like he's not that great, and then it's like Fan. It's like. It's really gross. He's a dumb hero. in fans' hands.
All right, well, I think that's going to be our final point of the night. We got to wrap things up. I know it's very late for you, BKB. So,
It's okay. It's almost 6 in the morning.
oh gosh. Well, it's time for the shoutouts anyways. Jared, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, you can follow me at Tempo Zoya. I plan on streaming towards the end of the week. Hopefully I'm feeling better. It's been a while since I've streamed. Been traveling, but we leave for Vegas Tuesday. So cheer us on at regionals. If you're going there, don't be afraid. Come say hi. The team's very friendly. I may be the shots fired grumpy guy on stream, but I'm really nice and I love talking to people in person. So don't be afraid to come say hi to us there. We're not playing in any tournaments this weekend. A tournament invited us, but we did not want to do it before regionals. Post regionals, don't think there's anything super important to announce. Follow us on YouTube at youtube.com/TempleStormHeroes. KO released a video today talking about Rainer. Arthlon tomorrow is releasing a vlog talking about MSI MGA. His thoughts about Cloud9, Liquid, and the Koreans, and just the event in general.
Cool.
And I think that's all. I will be observing at Vegas too. It's not in the announcement post, but I will be observing there. So you get to see my masterful camera work as I intentionally miss Cloud9 kills versus Tempo Storm.
And you're also updating your mic soon, right?
Yes. Oh, yes. I am spending a lot of money getting the same setup Jake and Kubi have, so I'll have good audio for once.
Hype.
Yay.
Without no buzz. No buzz. Kubi.
Hi. Let's see. If you guys didn't check out the matches over the weekend that Jared, myself, and Jake had the pleasure of casting, that would be found on twitch.tv/ESL_heroes. Some great matches. We were talking about them earlier in the podcast, but they were really good. I suggest you guys watch those. Over this next week, nothing too exciting. Like Jared was mentioning, we will be out in Vegas, so come say hi to us. Always excited to meet you guys, and I'm excited to meet the rest of the players, and such. It's always going to be a great time, and I'm sure it will be a fantastic event out in Las Vegas. Follow me at the Kubi, and Jared was talking about events happening after Vegas. Well, we're all going to be tuning in to Prague so that we can see our boy BKB playing and hopefully rocking the house.
Chat is demanding we talk about the lunar flare that was insta-cleansed by Dread.
Oh,
denying the ravenous spirit's interruption.
Yeah. So the way that works, apparently, if you cleanse the exact same frame that Lunar Flare hits a Nazebo casting Ravenous Spirit, it doesn't interrupt it.
It has to be perfect.
It has to be literally instantaneous. Yeah. Arthlon said that mid-game, he tried moving, and he's like, why can't I walk my hero? I saw I got stunned. He's like, oh, I'm still controlling Ravenous, huh?
That's good. Mm-hmm. That's a good thing for the game. If you can perfect
single
I don't know
frame,
if that's a good
it's not. Don't lie to yourself, dude.
Yeah.
Single frame is not a real thing.
No. That's not it. There's no way you can become mechanically good. There's no way become mechanically good that you hit that single frame every single time.
Play Street Fighter.
No.
Jared, perfect frame is a thing in tons of esports.
Oh, you mean 1v1 games where, there's no skill, it's a two-dimensional frame? Yeah, I bet. Dummy.
Hey, if it's something that if that's a really hype moment, a really hype play can be made like that, Kubi and I were just like, what just happened? We were genuinely just like, are you serious?
No, that's cool.
Dude, it wasn't intentional. Was it, Zoya?
No,
it wasn't intentional.
Okay.
An unintentional thing can literally decide the game.
Yeah.
That's not okay. Imagine if that had happened in a situation where, that Ravenous then won the game for them because it didn't happen. That's really... I don't like that.
Hey, as players get better at the game, maybe it can be an intentional thing.
No, I mean, it could... okay, you want to practice 100,000 times to get that cleanse on the Tyranstun. I understand that. I just don't think that, that's not what they want out of the game. They've shown over and over and over with their design changes that that kind of thing is not what they want.
Yeah.
So I don't think they're going to leave it in, regardless.
It won't stay. You're right about that for their design philosophy.
Yeah.
All right, Lord Duckus, the shoutouts. The floor is yours.
Dunktrain.
Shoutouts?
Yeah.
Shoutouts to the the guys from Virtus Pro and Team Liquid, especially BKB, Kuni-chan, Grand Paquete, and Black Scorp, who hung out with us tons at PAX. That was so much fun. Really appreciate that, guys. Shout outs to my team, Cloud9, obviously. We're all doing more streaming now, so make sure to catch those. I try to tweet. Jake's repping us because he's a bro. You can catch my stream on twitch.tv/Dunktrain. Twitter, same thing. So thanks, guys.
Get fisted. BKB, all you.
Yeah, it's same. Yeah. First of all, thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, same shout out to you all guys, and also Tempo Storm, like Zuna, Artelon, and like basically everyone, like whole Cloud9 team, and like again, it was probably the best time I ever had. It was really nice, and hopefully we can qualify. My team can qualify, so we can meet again and hang out one more time, probably, hopefully. So, yeah, you guys are all amazing, and yeah, if anyone wants to follow me, but you don't have to, like, there's that nickname.
No, you have to follow.
Yeah,
Follow him.
that one. I don't know. I'm not gonna spell it. On Twitter, on Facebook, and also Twitch. But you don't have to follow, guys, if you don't want to.
Follow him.
Follow this man.
Okay, you have to follow.
Yep, follow him. His dragon dies in 1 week.
Okay.
Damn. Can you pay your dragon for us one more time?
Yeah, sure.
I
don't mind.
You're the
man. Okay. Just one more time, guys. We are in fact selling Town Hall Heroes T-shirts, and these are the last batch of the year. So if you want to get one, well, you have until September 27th. They now come in a variety of colors. The purple ones are not available this time around, but you can get several colors. We actually have them in women's tees, same exact colors as men's, and then 2 colors for the hoodies. Buying these supports us a lot, and also it's a really cool idea to wear them to things like BlizzCon. Yeah, because
cool idea.
because we're hoping to do a town hall meetup at BlizzCon this year. I think all 4 of us will in fact be there, and yeah, town hall Twitch or teespring.com/town hall, and I think that's going to do it here for us tonight. BKB Dunk, thanks so much for coming on. There will be no episode next week. We will be traveling. So there'll be no live episode on that Wednesday night, but there might be an episode in a different manner that might be up direct to YouTube or something. We'll figure it out. We'll announce that on Twitter. You can follow all of us here and follow at Town Hall Heroes. And that is going to be it. Do you deliver to Canada? Teespring delivers globally, so you can order no matter where you are. It's all through Teespring. I don't know what the shipping costs through that. Again, it's all directly through Teespring. That's going to be it here, guys. Signing out, Town Hall 78. BKB, go to sleep at 6 in the morning.
I will definitely.
And make sure to cuddle with your dragon. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, I will. I'll go sleep with him.
Soya.
Soya. Soya.